months or a few years, whatever it is, then you get results. Now, do you know that? As opposed to, here's the working drawing, drawn out in all its finery and all its abstractness and so forth, and you just build the damn thing regardless because you don't have the time or you don't know enough to keep changing it. So, I mean, this is a real question to you. We have coined a distinction between two systems of production that we call System A and System B. System A is a system which permits and encourages that sort of activity that I was just talking about. System B is the method of architectural production that is probably followed by 80%, if not more, of the major owners, developers, builders, and so forth. And System B is the most bleak effect on the environment, whether you're talking about in England or in California or in India or wherever it is. There is no way around changing from System B to System A if you want to get good results with buildings. Most of my projects are not in England. I mean, I've only once built a building in England. And if you want to see what that looks like when it's executed, you're welcome, and I'll give you the address. It's in a place called Westdean in Sussex, and it's a visitor centre for the College of Westdean and the Victorian Gardens there. It is a relatively small scale project, but it's not that small. I've experienced many, many times, whenever I happen to be over there and taking somebody in there, you can laugh if you want, but basically they gasp. Because, well, we had for instance, the head of Strathclyde Architecture School up in Scotland. He's an Italian urban planner. And I only met him, gosh, I can't remember, 3 months ago or something like that. Very, very wonderful man. He went to look at the building, and he said to us afterwards that he was just mind-boggled that it was possible to build a building like the one that he had just seen. And yet, price was held firm. The thing is genuinely beautiful. Now, you can't say something is beautiful unless it actually produces in you the emotion of beauty. So I suppose if I took, for example, let's say MI6, is that beautiful? Have a good laugh. Some of you are just having one. Why do we allow this to go on in our profession? What is the reason? Now, I'd like to speak some more about this, but I think that's just a sort of brief introduction to my thoughts and my activities. What time have I got? It's now 7.
You're fine, Chris.
Sorry?
You're fine. Keep going.
No, I've been told that I'm going to be kicked out. That doesn't mean I will, but I do like to be
Why
polite.
did they show some pictures of what absorb some of the things you were to
Oh, right, good, yes, let's have a look at that. Okay, so this is campus. As I said, it was originally budgeted for $10 million. It was anyway, various things happened. By the time that the project was actually finished, the inflation had taken it up to 3 times that. So that the buildings that are standing there are actually essentially $30 million buildings, with one exception, which if I have time I'll mention, but I don't want to confuse the situation here. So I think that it would be worthwhile, if you forgive me for being proud of this particular project, I just want to run through a lot of slides, and it's not going to be, I'm not going to be sitting on the slide and then talking and yak, yak, yak. I never do that, showing slides. I run them in at 2.5 seconds per slide. So basically, it doesn't take more than 15 minutes sort of thing to run through these pictures. And you get an overwhelming experience simply by looking at all the slides. I must say, they're not beautifully organized. They're just photographs that I took and some of my men took. And they tell a story about human beings. So what I would like to do, as I say, is I'm going to get myself a drink of water or wine or half and half or something. And Maggie's going to...
Do you want to say what the project is?
Forgetful, Chris. Okay. It's a rather funny, complicated thing. My client came. Actually, I'd like to do this often because I've been talking to them. Let's run through the slides.
But it's a campus?
It's a campus. It's a campus built to be a college campus and a high school campus combined, and that led to certain contradictions and difficulties along the way. But nevertheless, that's what it is, and it occupies 9 hectares of agricultural land as it was, and it's now a beautiful campus. But thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so let's just do that, and then by all means, let's have a bit of a discussion. Or if you don't want to have a discussion, we'll do something else. And there are some topics that I very much want to deal with and dig into. But as I say, we have 1 hour now, so that's fine. And it just depends on what you, ladies and gentlemen, wish to do with the time. Various suggestions have been made to me about that. But let's just, first of all, look at the pictures. We're going to turn off all the lights and just look at that screen. Now, the one thing I don't know is, can you see adequately from the back?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you turn off the light, even though that's it? Okay.